back like cook crack.
Hey.
That's a Joel Santana reference.
For those who don't know.
Dipset, Harlem World. Cronin talk. Because we're talking about Cronin, right? See,
I knew that.
we were talking about Cronin, so I called it Cronin
It's on
talk.
everybody's mind, bro.
Ronin talk. Welcome back. I'm losing track of the episodes now because I'm bad at math.
12.
12?
Sorry, yeah, 12.
Producer Paul said 12.
Take your word for it.
Producer Paul, that's your name.
Yeah. Change your Instagram.
Yeah, Producer Paul.
Immediately.
Now. Like, no, like, pull your phone out and, like, do it now.
We'll delay the episode. Okay.
Okay, he's giving us...
They can't see you.
Yeah, that's racist.
Andrew the Beast Tyson.
Sean Allen, welcome. 235.
All right, so here we
Fire.
go.
So we'll start off with Ben Askren, Robbie Lawler.
Who are you going with?
Askren, I need him to win.
Oh, yeah,
I need him
too
to
much
win.
excitement, yeah.
I need him. I need him to fulfill all the fantasy
I
fights
got
I have.
mad love for Lawler.
So do
and
I.
I want to see him do well, and I don't want him to be done yet.
Yeah.
But, like, we've seen it already, right? Like, we've seen that run. I don't think he can necessarily... I'm not saying that he can't come back and be champ, but too much excitement. And, like, the fact that Askren is simultaneously holding this many beefs before he's ever even stepped in the octagon
Is wild to me. We've never seen anything
I've
like
never seen a guy who I'm this excited for his debut, and then simultaneously I'm already ready to see him fight.
Bro,
2
this
and 3
is
other
better
men.
shit talking than Connor.
I mean, let me listen. He's got a beef with what's his name?
Marty.
Yeah, Marty from Nebraska.
Sorry, Kamar Usman. Kamar Usman.
Dude, his teammates fighting him, and the beef between them feels better than the beef between his teammate and him. And Tyron Woodley is on his head. Like,
And
it's not like-
they do not like
They
each
were
other.
tag teaming him during that press conference, and
Yeah.
it's like the fact that you're making me want to see you fight him more than the guy he's actually about
fighting
to fight
the same night
is baffling. And then this Darren Till thing. Darren Till has so many fights I'm excited about.
Yeah.
He has the Masvidal situation. Him going up to 85 and maybe fighting
Stylebender.
Stylebender. They're talking about him versus Wonder Boy. The fact that I'm still excited more to see him fight Askren, like I need Askren to win.
I even forgot Wonder Boy's fighting Pettis.
And
Jesus
wrestling
Christ.
over everything. Like that's another reason. I love the philosophy. I love what he keeps saying, which is there's a reason my career. And you know what somebody brought up? I was talking to a coach. We were talking about how like some guys they train and they're amazing in the gym. That's certain things you never get to see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made a joke and said, for all we know, Ben Askren's a like top like level striker.
Here's the thing.
We don't know.
Okay, but here's something that I
What
brought
if?
this up.
What if?
I
He's
brought
been
this
at Duke
up
Rufus's gym.
a long time ago. Duke Rufus has the Pettis brothers, Tyron Woodley, Eric Koch, who at one point was a ridiculous.
And then the longest is just kickboxers under him. A lot of people don't realize he has a lot of good kickboxers.
And his brother Rick Rufus also has a whole stable of strikers underneath him. Like,
Dude, we don't really know what his striking's like.
what if he throws a head kick and wins?
But like, what if he one day has to do it, right? So like, that's another reason I'm so intrigued by this. I don't think Lawler's really one to bring that album. I think he's gonna take him down, maul him.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my personal opinion. But there's just so many fights I want to see from him, and I don't know what Woodley's plan is, but I think Woodley might be going up to 185 eventually. Because like, why are you here if you're Ben Askren? You gotta want a belt at some point.
Well, here's the thing.
You can't keep asking for 165. You have to make a
But
choice.
the way you look at him hard pressing for 165, I honestly think that the reason Ben Askren is doing this is all calculated. It's a very cerebral approach.
Or
he's getting all this hype, talking all this shit, and starting all these beefs because he'll be like, Dana, I can make 165 lucrative for you.
Now, this is another thing. I also heard Woodley talk about the 185 versus be worried because of that 15-pound difference. For all we know, Woodley just comes up and they play the whole DC Kane thing where he comes up, stays there,
Yeah.
because he's a big guy.
Yeah.
Now I don't know, like he's not tall, but like
Because what is he, like
how
5'10"?
interesting 5'9".
He's
How
Joe Rogan.
I want to know what he would look like at 185. 15 more pounds.
But can he move around with that?
Well, that's the thing, bro. Like the same
That's
thing. Look
because
like
we've seen him get tired.
But this thing, the same thing that we've seen with DC. Sometimes the fact that you're not cutting much weight and you're the guy who's used to faster fighters, you look better. It happens a lot, so we don't know, right? And
No,
look,
that's
it's,
fair.
like what were we just talking about the last episode? There's a lot of guys I could see him beating at 185.
No, I agree. I agree, but what
with the exception of Yoel Romero, there's not a single guy that I wouldn't believe that he could take down at least. And I think he can knock out anybody.
Yeah, Luke left the division.
And I think he can take down Luke. I just
Do you
have not-
see? How do you see him and Weidman panning out?
That'd be so interesting. But I think he's a good enough athlete. I think he's just that freakish of an athlete.
Bro,
He hits that hard.
Weidman is a big kid.
And this is the thing though, he's not a kid anymore.
I mean, sorry, he's a big man.
Grown-ass
Like, he's a
man.
grown ass man.
But I think
He's
170
big.
has always been the more athletic, the better division. And so I wouldn't be surprised, just like I felt the same way about 205 and heavyweight. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up and looks better than he ever did at that division.
That could be a possibility.
I just
can't
believe
be
that. I mean, GSP won a belt. Now you can say, oh, Bisping. It doesn't matter. Bisping was the champ.
Yeah.
So there's no reason not to believe that he can't do it. And he's, he hasn't as many injuries as GSP. He hasn't taken that much time off. There's no reason he can't come out like a freaking tank at 185 and do the same thing.
Yeah.
So because
I'm very interested.
There has to be some discussion that's been had where you've already agreed not to fight each other. Askren, you're 35 years old, 34?
I thought he's 38.
No, he's young. He's 30. He was in college when I was. He's 34 or turning 35. He's no older than 35.
Yeah. And he hasn't had any real injuries, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize the significance of guys who have not had injuries, even if it was 10 years ago,
and no brain
fighting
damage.
in the sport.
And not
no brain damage, no injuries. Like
now, the other flip side is maybe he goes up to 85 too and thinks he can beat all those guys too. I don't know why. I can't believe. I've heard people say that he takes down everybody.
I've heard that too.
I heard it does not matter what weight class you were in.
Yeah.
I heard it's the same thing. Like when
I heard it doesn't matter how much you kick and scream and say.
I heard it's the same thing with GSP when he talked about when he trained against Bisping and was just dominating him, and how he used to take down Rashad Evans when Rashad Evans was 205 champion Rashad.
Yeah.
I heard it's the same thing.
And remember, he was training with Nate Marquardt.
Yeah.
Too. Like he has some.
I heard everybody gets taken down against Ben Askren, and maybe that's the plan. Is to build a little smoke here, go up to 85, but they don't give you the 65. So he has to win that fight.
So you're going with Askren?
Of course. I just want to, and that's no disrespect to Lawler. I have a lot of people in Kansas City who are huge Lawler fans. He's a Midwest guy. A lot of guys know him from the military days. LC, all you guys know him, but like, I want to see the Askren smoke.
So Marty versus Tyron. I said we're going to go Tyron.
I'm going Tyron. Yeah, I think Tyron's just a better version of Marty, and more better boxing.
I think the fight's going to be more competitive than people are giving it.
I think it's going to be because of the athleticism.
Yeah, because I think Usman's the best athlete in the division. Not the best fighter.
Athlete,
not the best fighter.
I think he's a better athlete.
I think the best athlete.
Woodley was a D1 prospect for football too.
No, I get that, but
I think he's a better athlete.
But I think he's a better athlete, but Tyron is by far the better fighter.
And now this is what I think's gonna happen. I think what's going to happen is I think one of them is going to be shocked by how athletic the other one is, and that's what's going to define. I think somebody's going to go in there and be like, oh, I've never been in here with somebody this athletic.
Yeah.
And I think just because Woodley's been tested more,
yeah.
He's already taken L's before.
Yeah.
He had a better wrestling pedigree when he did wrestle. He's trained with Askren. I think he can knock Kamal out because I don't think Kamal.
No. I definitely think.
I think it's going to be a knockout.
I think he's not going to walk through Kamal the way he did Till.
But I can see it happening.
But I can see it happening.
Who's the best striker that Kamaru's ever fought?
He's had a couple fights. I don't think he's had anyone. Did he fight Thiago?
I don't see
Tyron for sure.
He's never fought Thompson.
Remember, I said
he's dropped these guys who were good.
No, but remember I told
strikers. You. I think he's gonna knock him out.
Woodley is the better fighter.
I think he's gonna knock him out. I
can see that happening. I just think he's not gonna just blow through him like he did Till.
Well, there's few guys that I don't think anybody expect him to blow through Till the way he blew through Till. I didn't call it to happen that way.
No,
I was worried about that fight.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna knock him out purely because I don't know about what Kamaru can do. I think the grinding out style is not going to work against Woodley, and he's going to play that striking game where I think he gets knocked out.
The one thing I'm so looking forward to is the two different systems. Because you have the Duke Rufus system on striking, and then you have the Henry Hoof
side.
and
this is nothing. That's almost unfair to say because then you also have the Mayweather side where he changes some of the Mayweathers Woodley does. He changes with Dino and all.
I did not know.
Bro, he goes out to LA. We've seen him at a wild card. Like he's obsessed with boxing. They talked about that. I remember his coach at they were. During that fight before Darren Till, this coach at the Mayweather gym, it wasn't even one of the Mayweathers. He's worked with the third brother. I feel bad.
That everyone forgets. I don't even.
Jeff. I was like, I'm not gonna disrespect the man like that. But he was working with another coach, and they openly said we're gonna knock him out. Like his hands aren't good. Like, and they were talking about this constant drop in your hands, and his boxing looks so sharp. I think that's where he gets the advantage. That not only does he have Rufus, but
he has Mayweather,
and he's the champ. I think he just more camp around.
And Dewey Cooper trains over at Mayweather's too.
Yeah, with Henry Hoof and them, it's still a very thing where there's so many fighters to worry about. Obviously, they're worried about him now, but he's not doing his own camp. He's still doing the group wrestling where it's everybody.
Well, in all fairness, since the split from the Black Zillions and they just became like the Hard Knocks.
I think it's more of a system.
But he's been he's been one of their staple guys.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, like he's still caught in all those crazy wrestling practices where it's like everybody wrestling, guys who aren't even signed, they have girls who are banned. Like he's still in that system which will get you to the dance, but I think to be at the highest level now you have to do your own camp. I think you have to.
Is that fair to say when Michael Chandler's part of that system?
Michael Chandler's not a champ right now.
But he was.
Like for me, saying
Twice.
who's the best fighter right now who basically doesn't do it on camp, not named DC? And DC basically has his own camp. Let's be honest. The camp is basically built on. But
that's not fair though, because once you become champ, at that point you do get your own camp.
But you see my point. Not named DC. And don't say Khabib. Khabib is from Dagestan. Comes there after he's around nothing but killers.
No.
He comes there after being around nothing but just killers.
No, that's
Olympic level wrestlers. His town has more Olympic champions than any other city in the world, and it's like a town of like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Let that marinate one time. Sololov's from there. Zabit, Islam Makhachev, right?
Yeah.
So like he has his own camp, and his dad was a judo black belt, a wrestling champ, sambo champ, and helped train the military.
No, that's different. I'm not gonna bring up.
So who else? Henry does his own camp. Dillashaw does his own camp. Holloway does his own camp. Khabib, I said, does his own camp.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Sebi does his own camp.
But a lot of those guys
Whitaker does his own camp.
Weren't like that before they were champ.
Yeah, but that's the point. Now that
that's what I mean. It's like it gets you to the dance.
But name any of them who weren't like that when they got the belt. TJ was doing that, which is what started the beef because he was going back and forth.
Not fully though.
He was though because he was going back to Colorado. He wasn't the champion when he beat Barao. He was going back and forth. That was the beef.
Back and forth,
and they were cool.
But he was that's not centered around him.
Bro, if you're going from Colorado to California, you're doing your own camp. You're not doing what Cody did, which is everything is done in the gym at Alpha.
You really see it that way?
Bro, you have what's his name? Ludwig only worried about you before his gym actually got open. You're getting all that one-on-one time.
But he was still at the muscle.
Well, yeah, because everyone does that, but no, he wasn't at muscle farm when he got the belt yet. Remember, the muscle farm was after he got the belt, he left.
Was it?
Remember the Ultimate Fighter when No.
You're right.
Yeah, if you're splitting your time between two different states, that's your own camp, in my opinion. If you're taking money, flying out to a whole another gym with a high-level coach who's in the UFC, that's your own camp. Henry Cejudo.
Okay.
Mighty Mouse was doing his own.
What about the guys that all used to travel together when they used to be that TriStar Jackson grudge system?
Once again, that all came off of the champ who was doing his own camp, and that's GSP.
It wasn't. No, I watched the documentary because it was.
Who was the first person to train TriStar and with Jackson?
Nate Marquardt. I know that for a fact.
Wait, so you're telling me that he started in there?
So Nate started at Grudge with Trevor Whitman. Then Trevor Whitman and Jackson had a relationship, so he started going with those two. Then they started putting together a team of Rashad.
Yeah,
Nate,
but you're
George,
wrong because the TriStar thing happened because of GSP. Nobody was going to TriStar because.
Well, no, they started going up to TriStar because of GSP.
But who was doing all a system? So no, but the thing was
there was a 3-gym system.
Yeah, but the first person to add the TriStar, and he was never going to Grudge. He was at TriStar and Jackson.
He did go to Grudge.
A little bit, but GSP was purely the only reason that TriStar thing became a thing was GSP.
No,
nobody was coming to Canada.
No, I get that.
He was the first one. You can't say Nate. Nate was not going to TriStar
but I think you're getting me confused a little bit because I'm talking about the first time guys weren't doing just their own camp. I'm saying those guys, they were a system that worked together. And it wasn't necessarily their own specific.
You can
camp.
say the Grudge thing, but the Grudge thing was always a second thing off of Jackson. Everyone knows that. That's why
it was up there.
Yeah, that's why. Who was the big heavyweight?
Shane Carwin.
Shane Carwin, all them, they came after that.
Yeah.
The GSP thing was a GSP thing. Remember, GSP was going to New York, training with Renzo Gracie.
Well, he's been doing that his whole career.
Okay, so that's my point. Yeah. You can't say that it was Nate first. Sorry, you're from Canada.
Yeah.
You're going to New York, and then you're going all the way to Nevada. That's
no, not Nevada. Albuquerque. Albuquerque.
That's about as much traveling as you can do, bro. And before he even got to the UFC, he was going from New York to Montreal.
Yeah. He started his career in New York.
Like, I only found out about Nate when he fought Anderson, right? I know, like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew he was in the pancreas. Like, I knew about him, but like that's how I really saw the.
I was watching him kill.
I knew of him, right? But like, you have to give that to GSP. So like, all these other guys, who else was at a other than TJ, who when he won the belt, that's when the beef kind of started.
Yeah.
Who else hasn't already been doing? That's the champ right now.
No.
DC's the only one.
DC.
He's the only one.
That's it.
No, right? So like that's how I look at it. So yeah, I think that's a Woodley fight off top. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about Jones
and Smith.
I'm picking Jones just because like I can't pick against him. I will say this: I could see this either happening. Either he does what Jones does, or he gets surprised by the athleticism. And
here's the thing, man. A lot of people on the internet are talking about Smith being a layup. Is he the most difficult guy he's fought? No, but
we don't know that though. Because of the
on paper, if he's not the most difficult guy.
So let's see
But since moving up from 85 to 205, he's been a completely different.
I will say this: the most trouble we've ever seen Jones have, where he didn't finish fights, was that one fight against OSP. Well, Gustafsson obviously almost beat him. Yeah. The OSP fight where he won, but it was like, damn, this wasn't what we thought. It wasn't as impressive.
He had to switch opponents on 3 weeks.
And I think it's the height. I think it's the length. I think Smith is a better. Now he's not a better athlete than OSP, but he's a better athlete than Gustafsson. And he's not as technical as Gustafsson, but he's more technical than OSP. I think that's the only thing that makes this interesting is the athleticism and the length, and that he does have good enough technique. That's where I think Jones can get caught. It's like, okay, you're a better athlete than Gustafsson, but you also have more technique than OSP. The two guys who, at least from my memory, gave him the most trouble.
I say round 1, he keeps his distance.
I think he wins the fight.
Round 2 does exactly what he did to Gustafsson. Fucking get that ankle pick, take him down.
I think he beats him for sure.
Because every time, you gotta understand, almost every time Jones has gone on top of someone and dropped elbows. Remember, Brandon Vera, Vladimir Metroshenko, Matt Hamill.
Yeah, no, I'm picking him to win the fight. I will say though, if somehow Smith pulls off, I won't be as surprised as the bets as a lot of people.
No, because he's an 8-1 on
that. And after seeing the OSP and the Gustafsson fight, the first one, now I'm like, okay, you have a little bit of trouble with guys who are tall. Yeah. Guys who can touch you where other guys can't.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only thing I'll say.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? So another big card now that's kind of formulating where they don't even have a venue, but it's becoming... Like, I thought this 235 card couldn't get any better, but now the UFC 236 is looking ridiculous, all right?
So we got the insider information.
Now, I don't like this. It's all freaking interim titles.
Okay, so from 2002 to 2012, there was only like something like 4 interim title fights. From 2012 to present, there's been like, I think, 20.
Now, this is where I don't know if Dana White and them are trolling, because everyone keeps saying how mad they are about interim belts. But one way to shut everybody up is, one, you're going to put 2 interim belts on the same card. But the fact that it's Tony Ferguson versus Max Holloway and
Israel
something like, what a way to shut up the haters. What a way to shut up me.
Because that's the thing, everyone's going to buy it. Those are 2 huge fights.
You want to shut me up? That's one way to do it. Like, I'm extremely angry that we're going to be watching a card with... Now, we don't know for sure. There could be a third fight that turns out to be a legit belt. But... I don't know.
TC's injured.
Well,
so that's not going to...
There is a rematch that we've both been talking about, and it is Henry Cejudo versus TJ Dillashaw, and neither...
They want that for the summer, though.
And that's fine, but I don't like why.
Because you gotta remember, that July 4th card has... International Fight Week, they've always had...
The only reason I think that's a waste of time is, one, like, you have tons of stuff you can give at 170. You have tons of stuff you can do at 185. Yeah. And then these are interim fights for a reason.
But you got to remember, on a business aspect, there's 3 things they have to keep up with consistently year by year now. That November New York card is something they...
Well, that's going to be Khabib or somebody.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They have to keep up with the hype of these cards.
Right? And another
International Fight Week is always a big... And
there's another fight that they're talking about being on that card is possibly Cowboy versus Conor.
Yeah.
Which would be crazy if that was a third fight on a card.
Can you imagine?
I don't know why waste that, but like it's very possible.
But that's what I'm saying. So Cowboy has signed a bout agreement for July 6th and for April 13th. I think that they pushed that one to international.
Now, what if there's a that's a fight. I don't know if I like making Conor wait that long, but it's worth it. Because of he's just coming out.
Think about it. April, May, June, July. It's the beginning of July.
Well, not even that. So the other side is April is literally the first time he can fight, so you don't have to make him fight then.
Yeah.
So that's another reason. So let me put this why I don't necessarily think the TJ Dillashaw fight, because I don't know why you'd wait that long for that fight.
When was the date that happened?
It was December. No, it was January.
It's January.
Why? Mean, that's 4 months off a fight that lasted 30 seconds.
Why?
And the guy who got knocked out is claiming he wasn't knocked out.
Yeah.
So you're gonna make them wait 6 months for a rematch for a 30-second fight for a guy who claims he wasn't hurt at all?
Yeah.
But Melissa,
business.
Okay, you say that, but like
we're talking about business, right?
Okay, but
I'm saying business.
Let me put away why you don't need to do that. You have Poirier and Ali Quinto who are supposed to fight who are mad now, both saying they want to get removed, right? Yeah. You can have the winner of Holloway versus Tony on International Fight Week. So Poirier versus Ferguson for an interim fight.
Maybe,
okay, but if guy gets the belt in April, there's no reason to make him necessarily wait until November either. You can have him fight in July.
Yeah, maybe though.
Okay.
Because you got to remember. Think about this. If you're looking at Holloway versus Tony Ferguson, do you have any idea how violent that fight is going to be? There's going to be blood. There's going to be things, bro. Those 2 guys are not coming out of that fight to be able to fight in July.
So let me say,
their medical suspensions are longer.
So let me give you a fight card for July that doesn't have Cejudo and
TJ
on it. And let me see if this interests you. DC versus either Ngannou or Lesnar.
Yeah.
Conor versus Cerrone.
Yeah.
The winner of Ferguson Holloway versus Poirier.
That can't happen.
Why not?
I'm being legitimate, bro. If you look at the track record of both of these gentlemen, there is no way arguably two of the most violent guys to fight at that lightweight division.
Okay, so let's scrap that one.
So scrap that. There's no way those guys
versus Israel.
I'm with it. If Whitaker's healthy, yeah.
Askren versus
there's a rumor that Whitaker's not ready till the end of the year.
Askren versus even better than Darren Till in Israel.
I'm with it.
Askren versus anybody.
That he's done. He's put himself in that position.
That's a good enough card. You do not need Cejudo and TJ.
But then here's another thing, man. We're now at the end of February. What promotion are you gonna get when you don't even have a venue for that?
Okay, well
they want to go on legit.
Here we are talking about it. You're acting like this is already gonna be one of the most stacked cards ever.
No, I'm just saying.
What's the difference?
I'm not thinking on our side. I'm thinking on the business side. On the business side, I don't think they're gonna try and make that fight.
Who is more healthier than those two guys who went through a 30-second fight?
Nobody.
Why? I don't wait till July.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not.
Too many fights to make.
I don't totally disagree with you. I'm just talking about business.
So then, basically, why make any of these fights and not wait till July?
Well, because you can't do that.
Well, but why? Okay, but let me say,
we can't go from one extreme to the other.
Every person on this able card has either had a way tougher year than those two, either had a last tougher fight, or was in a fight that lasted 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So why make the healthiest guys wait till July? Why not make all those other guys wait?
Metrics. Who knows? It's just the business of where they.
I don't think that makes sense, man.
They also do metrics on who's big in what states and what cities.
Okay, but you also
they look
235 happens next week, and so what do you do with all those champs?
235, you could push that into July.
Okay, but you don't. The fight's already happened. So every one of those guys now aren't fighting in April. You have John Jones now who can be fighting in July. Yeah. You have Ben Askren who can fight in July.
Yeah.
You have Tom Willie, and you're gonna make Cejudo and TJ hold those divisions hostage for 6 months.
Yeah, because you got to remember, flyweight, they still don't. They just cut another two guys.
Okay, so you're basically telling me
that at 35 you have Marlon Moraes who's in the wing.
So that's my point. So you're telling me that not only are you going to leave the 125 division in limbo for that long, that's already dying. Yeah. You're going to leave the 35 division in limbo that long, and Morales.
I think so. I think they do that. I'm not saying that.
Why?
I think that they do that. I think that right now, with the way they want to structure it, I think that they want to hype this fight up, like get behind it.
Bro, it was the first ESPN card already. I
agree.
Bro, you're telling me they got that much hype. They got a 30-second fight, and now you need 6 months to hype it up. It's not already hyping up. If they tell me that fight's happening next week, you're not paying to watch it?
What? I'm the first one to pay.
So why would you wait on that?
I am just telling you what in their shoes.
So what do you do with all those champs from 235 then?
What do you mean? What do you do with
Where do they fight?
You're acting like there's no other months of the year. You're acting like there isn't anything.
But my point is, if you're gonna make those two wait, if your logic holds, why are you letting any of these other guys fight at 235? And then once they do, what do they do?
Those guys can.
So where does John Jones fight next? If
John's talking about quick turnarounds, I see him on International Fight Week.
Okay,
even earlier.
Where does Woodley fight next?
Anywhere he could fight. If he's not injured, he could fight at any time.
He could also fight on International Fight Week, right?
Yeah.
Ben Askren.
Same thing. We just went over this.
Okay, so my point is, your logic about holding up the two divisions, bro. Yeah. You're now holding up 2 divisions for 6 months.
Technically one. There's nothing to hold. There's no one in the wing at 25.
And that's the point, right? If you're talking about like this is another reason, let's just get this shit over with. Let's see what happens.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing.
The only reason I said
I'm just saying
it doesn't make sense to make that way.
We've seen them do it before.
Two. Show me a tough fight. Name one fight ever where a fight happened that quickly where we want a rematch and they made 2 divisions wait for 6 months.
Well, how long was
never happened.
How long was the difference between Chael 1 and 2?
Let me say, perfect example. DC just got a quicker turnaround than that after winning the belt.
No, but I'm asking.
Why would you?
But I'm asking you right now. What was the space between Chael Anderson 1, Chael Anderson 2?
That was like, I don't know.
That was not a very quick turnaround.
Yeah, but you're not holding up 2 divisions. I asked you to tell me a time where.
Okay, but we can't say 2 divisions because flyweights don't exist technically. Can you right now go on any platform and tell me another flyweight fight?
Have they removed the division officially yet?
No.
Can you remove the division without saying something about it? Don't you have to eventually?
I think that they would disrespect them enough and do that.
Okay, but either way, is there not still a 125 flyweight division in the UFC?
Yeah.
Did Benavidez not re-sign?
Yeah. He got a 4
So are you
deal
not holding up the?
and does not know if he's
So
going
you're
to
gonna
still
hold
fight
up?
at
You're gonna hold
25.
up Marlon Morales for 6 months.
Yeah.
And
Bro, look at how they're treating Dustin Poirier. Why would they not do that to Marlon Moraes?
I'm sorry, because there's a guy named Conor McGregor who's a bigger star. There's a guy named Khabib who's a bigger star. There's a guy named GSP who wanted to fight. You're talking about a division that's full of stars. Name 3 stars from those 2 divisions collectively.
Other than the champs?
Yeah.
Marlon Moraes.
That's not a star at all. That's a damn lie to say.
Not a Brazilian.
A star?
Wait, are you talking about like a fight star or like a star?
A star. Like,
oh,
like
there
Khabib.
are none.
So you cannot talk about Dustin Poirier. You're in a situation where you're in too many stars, bro.
Forget stars, bro. But you're proving my point.
Wait. You
But
just said
no,
the
but I'm
metrics.
saying forget.
You can't forget stars.
No,
forget
but I'm saying
metrics.
forget the star part. We're talking about how they would treat a fighter and how they would make.
So my
guys
point
win.
is, if you're going to compare Poirier, right, that's fine. You have to bring up the fact that there's tons of stars, and they're not even making those divisions wait that long. Holloway's not even getting that long to hold up, and he had a fight.
Well,
he was roughed up.
Holloway's been begging to fight.
So
Holloway's been tweeting. Holloway's been going.
And
nuts.
Henry's been begging, and TJ's been literally begging.
I haven't heard anything from TJ.
TJ the next week did an interview on Below the Belt saying, "I'll fight him next week at 25."
Oh yeah, I know that.
So
But, like,
how do you make the man wait? And then Marlon Morales, you just let him sit there and
I
marinate?
really think they would do.
This
that.
is what you know.
I really think they would do
get
that.
it over with. Get rid of the 25 division. Marlon fights the champion on fight week.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a great idea. I'm just saying, if you can't, there's no precedent in the UFC ever where 2 divisions will be held up that long, and those are the 2 lowest level divisions in terms of stars.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
That is the worst marketing idea ever, is to make people totally forget about those 2 divisions for 6 months.
I really think that they want people to forget about the 25 division.
And that's fine, but you want them to forget about the 35?
No, you're not going to forget about 35.
So then why?
35 is still not a big
Listen,
draw.
you don't need 6 months for guys who just have. If you
Listen,
let me say,
okay, you got to remember. I'm just telling you what I feel like and what I'm seeing their behavior.
all I'm saying
what I think.
all I'm saying is the reason I think it makes no sense because every other champ has gotten a quicker turnaround, and every other champ had a harder fight.
We've seen anomalies over and over
You
again.
can't name one like this. You're talking about a completely new anomaly.
Well, yeah, but we would name another time where there's been a division that's fizzling out and another division that has like next to no stars.
That's the reason you don't let it sit away for 6 months.
But if that's not a priority to them right now, and they say, look, the fight is a priority, the division isn't.
So this is my point. So you think that they would rather just have a card with all interim titles and not use the fact that they have 2 guys
for the first
chomping
time
at the
in
bit?
history, we're gonna have 2 interim titles on 1 card.
Exactly. So you don't think there should be at least 1 legit belt?
I don't think that you just talked about them trolling and getting people interested. That's my point right there. Like, they won't give a fuck.
Okay, so
They're getting to that point.
How confident are you in this?
I can bet.
You want to put a wager? You just
On
said,
camera-
I love that you just said
On
it.
camera, we'll put
$50 that
$50
that fight happens before fight week.
Before we're talking
international
about
fight.
April 30th. I mean April 13th.
Okay, you said they're gonna wait till international fight week. I say $50 that fight happens before then.
April, May.
Oh, now you want to do the math. $50.
I'll do it. I'll do it. 50
Easy
bucks.
money.
$50. Done. All right, that's the end of the
I'm just
episode.
freaking out. Sorry you guys had to see that rant. Please comment on this foolery that he said. Who do you agree with?
Okay, and then
you believe they're gonna wait 6 months?
What are you gonna do when if it doesn't happen till fight?
I'll pay you your $50 and we'll watch it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Done. I know. Sorry, Paul.
My bad, Paul.